Now that UFC 302 is over, Islam Makhachev has a couple of interesting options. He can either go for the welterweight title and challenge the winner of Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad. That fight is happening at UFC 304. Or he could try to break the record for the most lightweight title defenses with a rematch with Arman Tsarukyan. And if you ask me personally, I think he should go fight Arman next instead of going up to 170. And personally, I think Islam will fight Arman. And a big reason why I believe this is because I believe Islam wants to break the record for the most title defenses in the lightweight division. If you didn't know, the record is 3 title defenses, and right now Islam has a total of 3 title defenses, twice against Alex Volkanovski and just recently against Dustin Poirier. This ties him up with Khabib and Ben Henderson, who both have 3 title defenses. If it's all about legacy for Islam, then I think this is the way he'll probably go. Then afterwards move up and fight Leon Edwards. And besides that, Dana White has said he wants to see Arman Tsarukyan fight Islam Makhachev next. So despite what Islam is saying about moving up, it looks like he might stay at lightweight for now. This makes the rematch between Islam and Arman really interesting. And yes, I said rematch. And if you didn't know, these two guys have fought back in 2019. And while Islam looked unbeatable at that time, Arman gave him a run for his money, where Arman stepped up in short notice and gave Islam some serious trouble. And in that fight, there was a lot of back and forth, especially in the grappling exchanges. But Islam won all 3 rounds. Arman had his moments though, but I will say Islam's impressive sweeps and takedowns overshadowed them. 2 judges scored it 30-27 for Islam, while one scored it 29-28 in the favor of Islam as well. Both fighters have improved tremendously since, so their next fight is expected to be an extremely high level. And I truly believe in this rematch, the grappling is going to cancel out, and we're going to see these fighters stand and bang. And I'm going to be real, Arman has improved significantly since their last fight, like I just mentioned, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, I still don't think he beats Islam. Islam is even better in this state of the game. And like I mentioned earlier, I think the grappling exchanges will cancel out. And I do believe that Islam is the better striker than Arman. Now, don't get me wrong, Arman's striking has looked sharp. We just saw him land that axe kick recently on Charles, and we just saw him knock out Beneil Dariush. Offensively, Arman is dangerous, okay? If he catches you clean, he's a serious problem. He can knock you out, and his high kicks are beautiful. He throws them very fast, and it's not even telegraphed. Arman is dangerous, but Islam has proven that his striking is the real deal. I mean, the dude literally took out Charles Oliveira in the second round and made it competitive with Alex Volkanovski in the striking in their first fight. And in the rematch, Islam obliterated Alex, and he just recently outboxed Dustin Poirier with freaking staph infection, dude. Islam has proven he's very well defensively. He's very defensively sound, and it's hard to hit him. His head movement, his boxing defense, and his counters are all on point. He was just casually slipping Dustin's jab and landing counters. The dude didn't even use his kicks in that fight, by the way, or even try to clinch up and try to use his trips or judo, because like I mentioned earlier, he was completely compromised by staph. And I almost forgot to mention that Islam has shown that he could be really effective from the outside, like when he knocked out Alex and beat Charles Oliveira. I think his recent performance was affected by staph, because normally Islam is very well-rounded. He's a very well-rounded fighter, strong in all areas of the game, and that's going to be a thing that helps him in this fight against Arman, especially since Arman's striking defense isn't the greatest. We've seen him get caught countless times on the feet. We can't forget that Matt Frevola caught Arman with a big shot, and we can't forget about Joaquin Silva too. My point is that Arman's striking defense has some gaps, and he makes a lot of mistakes on the feet. If other fighters who aren't even in the top 5s were able to land these clean ass shots and stun them or rock them, then I think Islam has a very good chance of finding an opening against Arman too. I just feel like overall there's a huge striking difference between the two, and it's crystal clear in my eyes that Islam is the way better striker. And I feel like the longer this fight goes, I feel like Arman will start slowing down tremendously. And look, I'm aware that Islam starts slowing down too a little bit. He's done that in a couple of his fights. but he has really good cardio overall. Arman, on the other hand, is very fast twitch fighters. Normally, those type of fighters tend to slow down, and we've seen that before when Arman fought Gamrot, remember? And even if they ended up grappling like they did in their very first fight, I think Islam will take control again. Once Arman starts to slow down, Islam will probably out-grapple him for the most part of the fight and win by unanimous decision. But if they stay on the feet and strike, I believe Islam could potentially knock him out too. Regardless, I think the fight will be really competitive in the first 2 to 3 rounds. However, the longer this fight goes, the more it favors Islam. I believe Islam has the edge in the striking department. Now, don't get me wrong, Arman will likely land some good shots, but overall, I think Islam will come out on top. And after Islam beats Arman, there's no one really who can stand a chance against him. I'd be fine with him moving up to the welterweight division at that point. Max is heading back to 145, most likely to fight Topuria, and I don't think the UFC will give Gamrot a title shot because his style is way too boring. So it would be perfect for Islam to start moving up to the welterweight division and fight the winner of Leon versus Belal. But overall, that's just my opinion on this potential matchup. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, guys, I'll see you guys on my next one.